Hello Internet! Welcome back to Mutton Chop Gaming. I'm the Mutton Chop Gamer, and wow, would you look at that date? 1 year ago today was the first episode of Mutton Chop Gaming. I can hardly believe it myself. I didn't think I'd be making videos for this long. I was just doing it because I needed something to fill up my time. But I fell in love with making videos despite everything, and heck, my first video got over 100 views on it. For someone as early as I am, that was pretty good. So, of course, my videos had substantial growth and... wow, only the teens? What could I have gone wrong with? Hey, you cannot prove that! But if I did kill Gen Game, you can read about it. All in my book, If I Did It. Confessions of a Guy People Hated Because He Posted Video Game Reviews on a Video Game News website, and dissed Kirby, Nightmare, and Dreamland that one time. It's a long title, but hey, I hear the people making 50 Shades of Grey books are wanting a new book. Maybe they'll enjoy it.
But now, Rayman Legends. I was there back in that early 2013 controversy. Please, allow me to give a little background to it. It'll be easier to get it all out now than have to write it throughout the rest of the review. After Rayman Origins was met with critical praise despite going up against Ubisoft's own Assassin's Creed Revelations, Ubisoft decided to make a Wii U exclusive launch title for 2012 called Rayman Legends. Well, it was hit with a delay for February 2013. I had bought my Wii U to play with family members for that Christmas, and I was willing to wait for Rayman Legends, especially after playing the demo. Then, a week or two before launch, the game was delayed until September, with the announcement that it would be coming out for all systems! I guess Ubisoft arbitrarily decided that the sales of Zombie U didn't look so favorable, and so Rayman Legends probably wouldn't sell that well on its own. Despite Zombie U being a very different beast from Rayman Legends, considering Wii U owners prefer to play cartoony platformers than first-person horrors. And they delayed this finished game 2 weeks from launch for 7 months, because apparently making a port to a different console would take 7 months, instead of, remapping buttons. Naturally, there was a decent outcry in the gaming community, myself included, obviously. That was when I learned that Microsoft has a stupid business dealing clause that if a game does not come out for the Xbox before or at the same time as other systems, they reserve the right to keep the game from being sold on their system. Ubisoft, learning from this outcry that they can't delay a game right before launch for 7 months just to make ports, told the game designers to make a video saying how they were going to add new things and make a challenge app exclusive for the Wii U before the game's launch. In the end, the Wii U sales of the game were almost equal to every other system combined. But despite other Rayman fans being calmed down from that earlier thing, I'm very good at holding grudges, and the game had to be very good to make me ignore the business politics that muddled with one of the main games that I wanted a Wii U for.
So, did the game make up for it? Well, let's take a look. This is Rayman Legends.
The game begins with a cutscene of the Bubble Dreamer giving a monologue in a tent. Apparently, the heroes of the Glade of Dreams have been sleeping for 100 years. Meanwhile, trouble is brewing because of his and their nightmares. Different worlds to be accessed through paintings, Mario 64 style, are in grave danger, as 5 magicians have been created, one for each of these worlds. The Bubble Dreamer sends Murphy to wake up the heroes to send them on their legendary adventure. They will go through a medieval civilization, a jungle village, a desert of death, an underwater fortress, and the Greek underworld. By finding looms, more heroes are unlocked to join you on your fight, and they all have a nice little lore to each and every one of them. In each world, you will save another 2 female heroes who have been captured in their war against the local baddies. After being saved, they will happily join you on your quest to save their homeland. It's a simple story, saving more people to join you on your quest to beat up magicians, and I feel it does its job. It sets up a game that lets you explore various worlds. It even connects the worlds together by having some worlds invade other worlds as you unlock them, making them all seem more cohesive. And those worlds are very beautiful. The Rayman style reminds me of cartoons I watched as a child in the early 2000s when I was in Germany. It's a European style that has no real match in America. Origins decided to bring the basics of this style to the forefront. Legends made this style legendary. Everything looks like it was carefully painted beautifully on canvas, with even the backgrounds showing how deep the world is. If these were actual paintings, I'd honestly consider hanging them up on my wall. And while the color palette of each world makes them unique, that's not the only thing that makes each world feel different. For example, the water world could have been an average run-of-the-mill water world that I could crap on. However, they did something interesting with the mechanics this time around, in making it a spy stealth section. The slow movement in water helps with this, of course, but it makes it feel incredibly different both in terms of gameplay and the aesthetic. Then there's the swamp villages that have toads, not those ones either. The medieval world where the Livingstones have become Viking raiders. The Day of the Dead skeletons with all kinds of food. It just makes every world feel different. Wait, why use toads in both the water levels and the swamp levels? I get the connections about why a frog and a toad would be in those worlds, but I feel a more original design could have been added to one or the other. Maybe have fish people in the water world, I don't know. The music has a style that can only be described as Rayman. Jewish harps, funny voices, guitars, harmonica sounds, it all just has a unique style that makes great melody-driven pieces that don't take themselves too seriously with the delivery. The Neverhood Chronicles did the same thing, and you know how much I loved that music. Also, the covers of existing songs are integrated well. I'll talk more about these in the gameplay section, but the mariachi version of Eye of the Tiger and other Rayman-style covers of great songs are just awesome. Heck, in order to reach a particular goal, I played one level over 100 times. No joke. And I didn't get absolutely sick of the song. What's more, the sound effects of enemies getting hit, the simple voices of the heroes, and just everything in the game serves to make it feel zany, but also to be taken seriously at the same time. And there are a bunch of levels from Rayman Origins that have been remastered into this style to be played all over again. So if you were somehow turned off by that great art style from Origins, you might like these redone levels. As for the gameplay itself, it begins with all the upgrades from Rayman Origins, them being punching, changing size, running on walls, gliding around, and swimming without needing to breathe. You are expected to know these mechanics from the previous game, and if not, the tutorials on each aren't too shabby. The first level has you learning the basics of Rayman platforming. When you're faced with a plant you cannot move. That is when Murphy comes into play. On other systems, you primarily control Murphy with the buttons, giving you control the whole time. The Wii U version, which had Murphy's controls being worked on from the ground up, naturally works differently. The touchscreen and gyro controls in the gamepad work to control Murphy, and whoever was using the gamepad becomes Murphy. It becomes a game of support for them, and it feels satisfying to help and work with the main people on the screen to get them through a level. Murphy actually feels like a hero. This probably leads you to have one question. What about if it's just one person playing? Well, you keep playing as Murphy, but now you have to help a stupid AI that only thinks of moving forward, ignoring its own survival possibilities, all teensies, and all looms. Playing as Murphy alone isn't about teamwork and support as much as it is about puzzle solving, as you get angry at how stupid the AI is in this game. What would be the best of both worlds? If the other consoles could control Murphy with tablets, and the Wii U had the option to use a Wii U Pro controller for Player 1 instead of only the gamepad, allowing these same kind of controls. The version you'll want depends on how many people are willing to play with you. If you have one other person, you're good. If not, how good is your tolerance for a dumb computer partner? By saving teensies in each world, you get more looms and levels unlocked. More looms give you more heroes to play as I've said earlier. Looms also determine your ranking at the end of a level. A reward for collecting looms in every level is a lucky ticket, and these net you more rewards such as more looms, an Origins levels, or even a creature. You can return to the creatures area of the tent every day to net even more looms. Invaded levels have you racing against the clock to save royal teensies from the invading forces, and saving heroine levels have you saving them from a dungeon in order to join your side. There's also Kung Foot, a local multiplayer soccer game using the mechanics of Rayman. It's not much, but it's somewhat enjoyable. Platforming hero levels are your reward for beating the bosses. While the bosses are cool enough by themselves, the platforming hero levels really take the cake. You're essentially using what you know about the game mechanics to elegantly dance through a musical piece adapted to the Rayman style. The last world of the game has you going through more difficult platforming hero levels, where if you die once, you go all the way back to the beginning. Not only does it have a level based on the Land of the Living Dead from Origins, but every song has an 8-bit remix along with a screen filter adding difficulty to it, making these your final challenges of the game. Or they would be, if it weren't for one significant problem. After completing every stage, freeing every teensy, getting every trophy, I still didn't have all the costumes unlocked. It looked like some moron decided to make the challenge mode almost mandatory to unlock everything. Not only is there a level of awesomeness you have to obtain through playing this mode, but the generosity of looms has dried up as well. Needless to say, this was stupid! I had completed the new levels, every Origins level, helped the stupid AI, saved every single teensy, even unlocked the gold teensy, and I still didn't have the 1 million looms needed to unlock the last hero. You have a community of people competing against one another, and not working together for looms, even though your game mechanics are best suited to have us working together. It also doesn't help that in the Murphy levels, you have to deal with the stupid AI again. These are all single player. Instead of weekly and daily challenges, why not have 2 single daily challenges and 2 multiplayer daily challenges? That way there's stuff to do for us who want to work as a team, and stuff for those who want to play by themselves. Or better yet, if I completed everything in a single player game, why try to force me to play your stupid, randomly generated challenges? Especially when they're time-based, forcing me to wait to earn more looms. This is not a free-to-play game, where you need to control our playtime to make us not get sick of it to maximize your earnings. This is a full-priced retail game. So to stick it to the man, I played a platforming hero level that net me about 20,000 looms an hour just to unlock that last costume. And that last level of awesomeness? Level 11? First of all, 11 is a stupid number anyway. And it only stands to make you want to play that challenge mode. And when you learn how stupid the challenge mode is, especially if one has a bad internet connection, you learn that it's not worth the trouble. It also sucks that you can't perform some of the challenges anyway until you reach a higher level of awesomeness, either from playing the main game or, once again, the dumb challenges. Okay. Calm down. Deep breaths. I get the feeling that this challenge mode is what was added to the game during that 7-month delay mentioned earlier. I feel this way because when compared to the rest of the game, it's terrible! It's taking what was fantastic and boiling it down to only one aspect of what made the game great. The challenge mode appears to not have that much thought put into it. I also would have liked to see a reward for unlocking everything else, and if you beat that reward, you automatically earn the highest level. I wanted to see a remastering of the Land of the Living Dead level from Rayman Origins. That level was incredibly harder than anything the challenge mode gives. Instead of it being difficult due to time constraints or other players, the developers just worked to make something as hard as they could given the mechanics you've learned, and it was just awesome. That said, the offline features of the game are still fun. The main parts, the parts that seem to have a lot of thought put into them, all add up to an amazing experience. The fast-paced platforming, the item collecting, heck, even the puzzles around the stupid AI are actually enjoyable. I just can't stand the challenge mode.
Okay. The game is good. I'll admit that. It is good. In fact, I'm giving it an A. The problem is the challenge app, and some of you might be saying I overreacted to it, but the Rayman formula is built of so many different, diverse, wonderful things. But then, making it so that each challenge only focuses on one aspect of those things, one of those things alone is barely good for a mobile game. It's not good for a full-priced game, even if it's just one part of it. It should just be axed entirely. I would think much higher of Rayman games if they got rid of the challenge app in all future sequels. Alright, that's it, and I'll see you all after I take a little bit of a hiatus. You see, I just started doing a lot better work here at school, and I've started working with Adobe Premiere more. As a result, I kinda want to focus on learning that a little bit more before I return. Now, I'm gonna try to be back before the end of the school year, because I want to do another free flash rundown. But that's secondary. I want to make the best possible quality videos for you. Because ever since starting the series, I have had more opportunity for school here than I ever did before. Because of this video editing, I'm getting a lot more clout in the communication department, and I'm learning so much more than I ever could have possibly imagined, and I want to make these videos as high quality as I can for you. So I welcome your comments saying on what I could do to improve. And so, as I say in the credits to all my videos, special thanks to viewers like you. Thank you. I'll see you guys as soon as I can with Season 2 of Mutton Chop Gaming.